Well, the camp at Muskrat Falls is where all the action is. At least that's the impression one restaurant owner has when it comes to the Muskrat Falls project. Buck Burden owns A&W in Happy Valley Goose Bay, and he says ever since the camp was built at the project site, his business and many people in the community have been feeling let down. Our producer, Jay Legier, met Buck Burden at A&W to find out why.
Buck, how's business at A&W right now?
It's been pretty good. It's pretty well holding up a little bit like last year. It wasn't like the day when the Muskrat first started, when people were coming into the area probably about a year and a half, 2 years ago. It's really leveled off since then. What we're seeing is today now is that the community's pretty well gone back to where it was before the Muskrat came in, but it also it's created some jobs in that here, which is good for the area as well, and put some money into the area. But we don't have that initial boom like we did a year and a half, 2 years ago. So we're kind of like leveled out right now.
How good was business 2 years ago?
Our business 2 years ago, we were like in double digits. Like we were almost like 30% increase in sales. Well, last year we lost that. We dropped about 24% in sales. So we still had an increase, but it's tremendously different than it was when they first came here. Like you have all the contractors here in town. Everybody's living here, feeding from here. And right now, what's happening now? They go to the airport. They're just flying them into the airport. They pick them up at the airport. They go through town. They go to the job site, and then directly from the job site right back to the airport. The community doesn't get no benefit at all from it, because what's happening is they won't even let them stay into the community or stop in the community, whether it goes to a restaurant or whether buy souvenirs from the community. And that's kind of taken a lot out of Goose Bay right off the bat. Nobody expected that kind of it. Like we probably, when the camp started getting ready to go, we still thought we'd see an influx of traffic, but not to the point where it's just dropped off at the airport. And there's workers that's come here that has never even come through the community at all. All they've seen is the bus in Muskrat, and it's devastating for our community as far as I'm concerned, and especially for people that's got their their homes and their lives and everything here, like their housing and that kind of stuff. So
before you had that big boom and sales were great, was there a message that you were receiving that this was a situation that could not fail, that your business was going to boom for years?
Well, probably about when it first came here, when they talked about the Muskrat, the talk was that, we were going to do very well. We knew it was going to be we knew there'd be a cutoff time at the time when it was happening, but we really thought, everybody in the community thought that there would definitely be some, the wages the wages have gone a lot higher. But what's happened is Muskrat has taken a lot of workforce out of our community, put them on site, and we can't find workers to even come in and fill into our restaurants now. So we're actually we have to pay a lot more. So we're paying more for labor now. So we passed that on to the customers. So what we've done is we drove the pricing up in the community between the restaurants and everything like that, because we can't get the labor at the price that we have because of the Muskrat, what's going on over in Muskrat. So the average person that's not working over the Muskrat is paying a lot more here in Labrador than they did 2 years ago. They've seen the land prices go higher, the housing go higher, the food cost has gone higher, and they're wondering why that's all happening. But it's just to do with the labor part of it. And in restaurant businesses, or in a lot of the business, labor is 35% of our business. So that's what causes the increases in the community and that kind of thing. So it's kind of been a bit of a letdown. I find Muskrat a little bit let down. Like, they've hired people. We thought all our kids were going to get permanent jobs, but we found out that didn't work. It's not a definite. You could be hired over there, but you might be only working 30 days, 60 days. You don't know when you're going to be laid off. There's been more hiring and layoffs in the last 2 years than I've ever seen in my life. It's just there's nobody that works over there is sure how long their job is going to be at any one time.
You're a man of the community. You're well known. You're seen throughout town, and you speak to a lot of people. I'm assuming you're not alone in this when it comes to your business right now, and having to deal with not having as many people as you had expected walking through the doors. It's harder probably now that with the business the way it is that, like I said, there's an awful shortage of workers in this community, and then we're passing on the increases to our customers. And like I say, a lot of it's short term over what's happened over in Muskrat, and we're not getting the benefit of the people coming through the community or staying in the community. We do get some contractors in the community. Don't get me wrong. We're not devastated. We're excited to see the business, but it's not what they portrayed. It's not what they portrayed to the community when they first came here. And but we are getting jobs, and I guess we can be thankful for that as well, right? So
Going forward, are you worried about A&W and the prospects here in Happy Valley Goose Bay at all?
Well, I'm worried for the town because in another 3 years, when this project is over, or 2 years, or whenever it ends, what's going to happen is we're going to have a large labor force here, and the pricing is going to be already continue set. And so we have a labor force that's they expect to get the same wages, but the work is not there, so they will have to come down in wages, which is not going to happen. And then we have the actual pricing of the food and everything in the community of your restaurants. We're going to have to all adjust again. And I see housing in that there is going to drop down because they're not going to buy houses. We're not right now. I mean, we have the young people is not staying here. They find the place too expensive to live in. We have seniors that are getting ready. They're leaving all the time because the cost of staying in the community is just too expensive. It's not the community that one time we used to be a community where young families would start and they would get a piece of land and they would be at a half decent price and they would set up a family and they would continue to make it. You can't do that here today. Everything is just so overpriced. And so we have no benefit here for our youth here right now, only short-term Muskrat jobs. And as the seniors they're just finding it too expensive to live here. So in another 2 or 3 years, we're all going to have to adjust. And I mean, we're going to have to realize, the prices that we're getting for our houses now in the last year, so we're not going to get them in another 3 years. We'll be lucky just to hang on to what we have. So it's, it was just, I remember I called one time before, about a year ago. I was talking, I wanted to go on CBC because at the first initial, and I remember here the topic at A&W at the time, it was all go. Everybody should spend. And there's a lot of people that spent a lot of money in the community that's lived here and put their necks out in the community and then actually went out and bought homes and spent large amount of money on homes but they don't want to see their prices of everything coming down either. And so we kind of get that misconception of what we're supposed to have and what we have here today, which is it's not good. I don't find it good.
Thank you so much, Buck.
All right, thanks.
And that's Buck Burden. He owns the A&W in Happy Valley Goose Bay.